Today, I am joined by Nick Adams to go through some of the biggest stories in the news. Nick, thank you so much for joining me.
Stephen, it's great to be with you and your audience. Happy New Year to you.
Oh, Happy New Year to you. It's always good to start a fresh year, new goals, new ideas, a new president of the United States.
That's the best part.
Yes, absolutely. Just some background. Nick is the founder of Flag USA 1776. He's a patriot. He's endorsed by Donald Trump for his business and different things that he does. I wanted to get your thoughts on this. I can't tell if this is just trolling or if this is just a middle finger in the face of MAGA and Donald Trump. But what were your thoughts on President Joe Biden giving George Soros and Hillary Clinton and others the highest presidential award? What are your thoughts on all of that?
Stephen, it was appalling. It was inexcusable. You wouldn't even read about it. It's disgusting that on his way out, Joe Biden has decided to, as you very aptly put it, give the middle finger to everybody that's ever supported Donald Trump, to give an award to Hillary Clinton, who's lost every presidential election she's ever run in, who is liked by nobody. The only person I can think of that's less popular than her is George Soros, and he got one as well. So it's really remarkable to see how Joe Biden, the elites always told us, Stephen, that he was this lovable grandfather and this great man of humanity and just a wonderful human being. And even if you didn't like his politics, it was impossible not to like good old Joe. What a crock that turned out to be. First of all, yesterday we saw, when asked by reporters, he very crankily told them that he knew more world leaders than they'll ever meet in their life. Then he goes and starts to give away awards purely out of spite, simply out of vindictiveness. There was a brave man, a viral video recently from 2022, but it went viral recently. And this was a young man who went and saved a family's life. These are the kind of ordinary, regular, everyday Americans who display heroicism that we need to be giving a Presidential Medal of Freedom to. Not George Soros, who has done everything in his power, Stephen, every step of the way for every day of his life to make this country weaker, more divided, and more dangerous.
Yeah, I mean, I understand why they gave it to Michael J. Fox. The guy went back in time in a DeLorean, right? But to give it to Hillary Clinton, who has not really done much for the country other than carry the Clinton name, which for most people is not a good thing. But George Soros has actively disrupted countries. He's bankrupted countries in order to profit off of foreign exchange markets. He's been buying elections for district attorneys that ended up going after Donald Trump or making it easier to commit crimes in Los Angeles, Baltimore, Chicago, New York, all over the place. I can't stress how disappointed I am. The only thing I can think of is in your final days when you are forgiving your own child, Hunter Biden, you're forgiving a Chinese spy, you're forgiving someone who sexually violated young girls and children, pedophiles that have explicit images of children. These are the people that you're forgiving. And then you give the highest presidential award away to people like Hillary Clinton and George. So I just have to think this whole thing is a setup. He's not thinking this through. His dementia is getting the best of him. Or is this his way of making sure that his family isn't investigated after he leaves Washington, D.C.?
Probably a little bit of everything, Stephen. There's no question that he's mentally unfit for the job that he's in, and quite frankly, the job that he's held since the 20th of January 2021. He wasn't fit there, but everyone covered up for him. On top of that, he's never been a particularly bright man. And obviously, I think that's only deteriorating. And then, of course, when you look at him and George Soros, well, I tell you what, Stephen, when it comes to quality of human being, they're about on par. They're about the same. They're both not very good people. And Joe Biden is showing, I believe, that he never deserved to set foot in the Oval Office. He's the one that doesn't have the temperament. He's the one that doesn't have the mental fitness. He's the one that isn't over his brief. It's amazing all the nonsense they would spin us about Donald Trump. And really, in reality, the reverse was true every step of the way for Joe Biden. So good riddance to Joe Biden. I hope the door hits him on his way out. At the end of the day, that was an awful chapter in America's history. Thankfully, we had a landslide victory in November, and I'm sure that the country is going to start healing. It's already started healing. Its reputation has improved around the world. People are starting to fear America, respect America in a way that is healthy, I think, for the world, for world order, so that we don't have the tyrants and the bullies running amok like they've been doing. And I think it's a great day for freedom, a great day for civilization on the 20th of January when Donald Trump gets back in there and we see the end of this demented, spiteful, nasty, not particularly intelligent man, Joe Biden.
Yeah, I agree. I wasn't going to bring this up, but you made me think of something. Zelensky of Ukraine, he put out in a podcast within the last couple of days, he said that he's been shocked that every time he talks to another world leader, the first thing they say was, what was it like to talk to Donald Trump? Do you think Trump's going to be able to end the war? What did he say to you? What did he act like? He said they never asked him any of that when it came to Joe Biden. So you can just see, you got GOAT behind you. Donald Trump is a major player on the global stage. Joe Biden was not. And that's why you have people like Putin and Hamas and Hezbollah and others willing to start wars, willing to, make the world less safe because we had such a weak leader. I'm grateful to have him gone. What are your thoughts on Kamala Harris having to certify Donald Trump's election? This is the man she lost to. This is the man she compared to Adolf Hitler. This is the man she said was evil and the biggest threat to American democracy since the founding of our country. I mean, is this poetic justice? Is this just mean? What are your thoughts?
For me, it was like looking at the Mona Lisa when I watched that footage, Stephen. I got to be honest with you. I thought it was a thing of majestic beauty. It was the most fitting thing that could have possibly happened after everything that they subjected this man to. The lawfare, the lies, the media, the censorship, all of it. And he fought like hell, like he promised us. And he showed us how to win again. And then Kamala Harris had to stand there in front of everything and certify the election results. It was poetic justice. It did feel good as somebody that supported President Trump from day one. I supported him, Stephen, when no one thought he was going to win, and I supported him when no one thought he would win again. And I did so because I think he is the greatest of all time. I do believe he's the best president that we've ever had. And I think he's even surpassed Ronald Reagan at this point. And I grew up being a diehard Ronald Reagan fan, still am. And I never thought that I would be lucky enough to see a leader even on the same level as Ronald Reagan, even perhaps yet even eclipse him. So I'm really happy to be an American at this time when we're about to embark on a new golden age where people should be making more money, feel a lot safer, be able to take risks that they want to take. it just changes the whole atmosphere. And I'm sure you felt it as well, even since November. Just things have changed. People were saying Merry Christmas again, which is fantastic. The happy holidays stuff was nowhere to be heard. And I think when people feel comfortable about being able to speak freely, when they feel comfortable spending money, when they feel comfortable that they can protect their family, these are things that you can't put a dollar amount on, but they add to the strength of a nation. And Donald Trump is about strength. His brand is strength, Stephen. He's going to restore strength to America. And it's really incredible. His pledge, what President Trump took it upon himself to do was not only to restore America's national greatness, but to make America greater than it had ever been before. And I think for that, everyone owes him a tremendous debt of gratitude for leaving his career as a beloved entertainer behind, for leaving his business empire behind, for leaving, quite frankly, a good and happy life behind, to push back against this decline that he saw, we saw, many felt was inevitable. And he said, no, I'm going to push back against that. And that is really, really special.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, he could have just golfed and traveled the world with Melania, his beautiful wife, and not dealt with, his net worth being disrupted, every one of his children being attacked, subpoenaed into oblivion. He has gone through so much, and like you said, he's taught us how to fight. What a fighter! We're passing the January 6th anniversary. Another person that Biden recently gave a medal to was Liz Cheney, somebody that he says is the epitome of a good citizen, putting country over party. And yet we know that she lied. They manipulated the January 6th story. They tampered with evidence. They destroyed evidence. They manipulated witnesses, intimidated witnesses. What are your thoughts on her getting an award, and also your thoughts on President Trump saying she should probably be investigated and, if necessary, jailed?
Well, first of all, Liz Cheney, Stephen, is in very good company with her fellow award winners, Hillary Clinton and George Soros. So I guess I have to award something for consistency there from Sleepy Joe. But look, Liz Cheney is the furthest thing from a patriot. Donald Trump is a patriot. And Liz Cheney has done everything in her power to deprive America of the leadership of Donald Trump. And that is something that, as somebody that loves this country so deeply, that is something that I find very, very hard to forgive. It is a great test of my Christian charity. I do believe that she deserves to be investigated. I agree with President Trump. If you have a look at some of the allegations regarding the shredding of documents, the witness tampering, specifically this Cassidy Hutchinson witness who had some fanciful tale about, President Trump taking the wheel from the Secret Service agent in The Beast. And, fantasy stuff, absolute fantasy. And yet it was sold to us as gospel by Liz Cheney and the Unselect Committee on January 6th. And you also have that toad, Adam Kinzinger, there as well, who's also a hater, also a mediocrity, a lightweight, no matter which way you want to chalk it up. And these are the people that felt threatened by President Trump. They felt threatened by his popularity, threatened by his influence, threatened by his leadership, threatened by his success. And in the end, Stephen, he endured all of their crap for 3 or 4 years, and then he really gave them the two-fingered salute on the 5th of November. Yeah. And that was a thing of beauty too.
Yeah. No, I've heard, in 2016, Donald Trump was the biggest middle finger the Americans could send to Washington, D.C. and now they're getting both fists as he comes back for a second term
on steroids.
Yeah, I'm so excited. What are your thoughts on his cabinet picks? I'm reading. I'm not a big fan of Senator Lindsey Graham, but this morning he said that he has confirmation from his fellow senators that all of Trump's nominations are going to get through. Do you think that's true? And which ones are you most excited about?
Well, it's always hard to divorce what people like Lindsey Graham want to say in the media and what the reality is. There might be some strategy behind that. But I would have to think that at this point, based on everything I've seen and I've heard, Stephen, these nominations are going to go through. And so they should. I haven't seen a nomination yet that is currently on the floor that I think there should be any reason to hold up or deny. I'm personal friends with Pete Hegseth. I love Pete. I've known him since 2016. He's an amazing guy, a fabulous intellect, great television talent, and he knows the military inside and out. He's one of our warriors, both on the battlefield previously and on the cultural battlefield. He's a man in the arena, as he wrote in his first book back in 2016. He will do amazing things at the DOD, and that is really where so much of the work needs to be done. Because if America is going to continue its role as a world leader, if it is going to command respect from around the world, then we need to make sure that we remove all of the wokeness, all of the DEI, all of the weakness, all of that stuff that has infested our military. I want our military to be about winning. And until that happens, we're going to be in all kinds of trouble. Tulsi Gabbard, well, she's a delight on the eyes, but she also, I think, will be a great ally for President Trump in the administration. I think she's a very bright lady. I think that her switch from being a Democrat to a Republican really shows you the times that we live in. Then you've got RFK Jr., and he has got some really interesting ideas. And anybody that's lived outside of the United States, anybody that's paid attention to health and foods and pharmaceuticals and all of that stuff, I mean, they will tell you that Americans get ripped off. Americans are always getting the bad end of the deal. We have the most garbage and toxins and stuff in our foods. And I think this would be an amazing time for America to recorrect all of that. And I think that RFK Jr., Stephen, is the kind of change agent that could actually get that through. And of course, there's the added bonus of seeing the Democrats tie themselves in all manners of knots about rejecting him. How they could reject a person like RFK Jr. is beyond me. But then again, the Democrats of this era never cease to amaze me in their anti-Americanism or their hatred of the other side.
Speaking of getting out the woke and the weak, did you see that Prime Minister Justin Trudeau announced that he is going to resign, that he's no longer the leader that Canada needs? What are your thoughts on him stepping down? I was happy about it.
Yeah, well, he's done a Pete Hegseth to himself, hasn't he? You know, he's removed the wokeness and the weakness from Canada. Exactly what Pete's going to do at the DOD. Look, I've never been a fan of Justin Trudeau. I've always thought that he needed some help in the frontal trouser region. I do think he lacks testicular fortitude. I have always considered him just to be a mealy-mouthed, beta male socialist up there in Canada. I think the Canadians deserve a lot better than Justin Trudeau. I'm glad the trash is taking itself out. It's looking 2025, Stephen, is looking better and better and better.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a dog walk itself. You know, he's just like, I'll see myself out, and just excuses himself. In our final minutes, I know you have a hard out. Tell my audience, what is Flag USA 1776?
So Flag USA is the Foundation for Liberty and American Greatness. It's an organization that I started the day that I moved, Stephen, to the United States in 2016. And Flag is all about teaching K-12 students about the American dream and American civics. So we created the world's first kid-friendly constitution in conjunction with interns from the late Justice Antonin Scalia's office. We got the US Constitution into plain, simple, easy to understand English that even a fifth grader can comprehend. We did the same thing with the Declaration of Independence, the same thing with the Federalist Papers, and our most recent student resource is Freedom versus Socialism, a high schooler's guide. We also have a parent and grandparents guide to teaching civics, which gives families the option to completely bypass the indoctrination centers that sadly, tragically, so many of our K-12 schools have become. And we also have our teacher professional development resource, where we teach teachers how to teach civics the way that it used to be taught. So we've had tremendous success. We have almost 2 million students across the United States that use our resources. We've got more than 15,000 teachers that use our professional development curriculum for in-classroom instruction. Flag is all about protecting America, defending America's reputation, and guarding American exceptionalism. And when they tell us to sit down and shut up, Stephen, we remind them that the Second Amendment means that we never have to sit down, and the First Amendment means that we never have to shut up. When they tell us to apologize for our great American history, we say, sorry you feel that way. And that's the kind of organization that we are. If people want to find out more about us, it's www.flagusa.org. That's flagusa.org. And of course, they can follow me on all different social media. Twitter is @NickAdamsInUSA, @NickAdamsInUSA. Facebook is Nick Adams in America, and Instagram is @NickA1. And I encourage everyone to sign up for my Substack, which has recently started. President Trump has already posted 3 of my Substack articles on Truth Social over the last couple of weeks. So please make sure to go out and check out Nick Adams' Substack.
Okay. I will put those direct links below. You know which state needs your company and your material the most is New Jersey. I just read this morning that you don't even have to be literate in order to be a teacher in New Jersey. So we've got the blind leading the blind, those that can't read, teaching those that can't read. Unbelievable. Nick, I want to thank you for taking time out of your day to come on. I'll put those direct links down below. I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Stephen, it's been a pleasure. Hope we can do it again. All the best for 2025.
Thank you.